Here's what we know right now. We know that this is Farm Road 43 going westbound toward Driscoll. We do know that there are power poles that are laying flat. We do know that there are power lines that are literally on the road. The thunder is intensifying. The lightning is intensifying. You probably just saw right behind the camera, right in front of me, another. Folks, I'm not kidding. You know, when you live on the Nueces River, the residents understand it's going to flood from time to time. But officials met yesterday and said that these high waters are going to be with them for a while. We are here at a house that probably was hit by the worst of it on Guadalupe. Brenda Nunez is the owner of the house. She was in the shower when this hit about an hour ago. Brenda, tell us what happened. The Harbor Bridge replacement project is one step closer to becoming a reality. Well, good morning and thanks for joining us on this sunrise edition of Chris 6 News. I'm Dr. Brad Hoffman. Alongside me is my tag team partner, the man with the meanest flying elbow in the business, meteorologist Tom the Macho Man Harris. Macho, how's the weather going to be outside?
I think I'm going to leave.
Well, if you love to laugh, you should consider going to Mesquite Street Pizza on Thursday night. Our Candace Torres joins us there from Mesquite Street with more details. Good morning, Candace. Employees at Whataburger got quite a surprise this morning when a man walked into the restaurant with a gunshot wound. It's their home. Home sweet home. And could this mean the end of an era for Hillcrest residents who have had to fight for things all their lives? Hillcrest Lost. That's the name of the story we're doing. It's plain to see that piece by piece, home by home, and business by business, the area is being demolished. I spoke with Nueces County Commissioner Carolyn Vaughn. The Hillcrest area as we know it, or the African American side of town, is it on the verge of extinction?
I believe it is. Unfortunately, I believe it is.
And the people most affected by this, emotionally and physically, are the people who have lived in the community for years. Darylyn Wimbish could only sit and watch as a home she grew up in for 50 years was demolished. The backhoe still on the property. The only thing she has are memories. Some pictures with her and her family at the home.
You can't stop progress. This is progress.
But it's progress that's tearing down your house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it's tearing it down.
And does that hurt?
That it hurts tremendously. Yes, it does. But I can't have a heart attack and die behind it when they bulldoze, and they're gonna bulldoze us anyway. And E-Domain gonna come in. Said in if you don't go, E-Domain will come in.
Some parts of Hillcrest are being demolished. The others are victims of neglect, like this cemetery. Tombstones toppled over. Tombstones broken in half. Folks, these are families' loved ones. Hillcrest resident Lamont Taylor says that this neglect has been going on for years.
But we still a part of the city of Corpus Christi, but they have neglected us for, 30, 40 years. Systematically, I said systematically, neglected us for 30 to 40 years. They have closed the schools in here, and second, the Harbor Bridge has come, and now everybody's being dispersed to the four winds all over Corpus Christi.
So the question is, what's going to happen to Hillcrest? That's the question Willie Hardiman, who is 76 years old and grew up in the projects in Winnebago, is asking.
What's going to happen there? What type of buildings? What type of permits are going to be given for buildings in that area? It's no longer an area where I guess families will be living, so it's going to look very different.
How different is anyone's guess right now? We spoke with Mayor Joe McComb.
There's still a lot of unknowns, but I think in the long run, I would think probably ultimately anything on the ship channel side of 37 would be commercial or industrial. It really wouldn't be residential.
So what's a time frame for this? Well, it's anybody's guess. There are a lot of residents, mostly elderly, who don't want to leave. They have no place to go. Why aren't they ready to leave?
Because this is home. They don't know nothing else. This is home.
And they're going to die here.
They're going to die here. That's right. And many of them have died here, fighting the fight, trying to stay here.
Many Hillcrest homeowners have been given money to relocate as part of the Harbor Bridge project. Others, well, they're staying put and going to wait it out. Dr. Brad Hoffman, Action 10 News. Casey Henderson is a wide receiver and defensive back for the Refugio High School football team. He was hurt in the second game of the season with a paralyzing injury to a C4 and C5 vertebrae and airlifted to a hospital in San Antonio. Doctors said there was little chance he would ever walk again. The town of Refugio held vigils, praying that Casey would heal and walk again. Bake sales were held to help raise money to help Casey and his family deal with this tragic situation, but Casey never gave up. He never quit fighting, and in about 2 months' time, following his injuries and surgeries, Casey Henderson got up and walked. Okay, I just saw you walk.
Yes, sir.
That's a miracle.
Yes, sir, it is. All glory to God.
Sylvester Henderson is Casey's brother and teammate on the football team.
My brother's a miracle. It's amazing because my mom said there was only 8% chances he was gonna be able to walk again, you know, with the C4, C5 injury like that. And it's been real heartwarming to see him walking around smiling and stuff like that, and having him being himself again after an injury like that.
Do you realize you are a walking miracle?
I've been told that multiple times, yes, sir. It is crazy that people aren't supposed to be walking from my injury, and I just happen to be walking now, so that's good.
We just happened to be walking. From day one, you told Coach Herring and everybody else you're going to walk.
Yeah, I told him that, but I don't know. I guess when you have the facts that only 8% walk from my injury, then it's kind of hard to believe, so I guess I see where they were coming from. Okay,
here's a big question. Are we going to see Casey Henderson on the field next year playing for Refugio?
Yes, sir. I'm going to try working at it hard every day and trying to get my body back to where it was. But if I'm able to play next year, then I will, for definitely.
This was the home of Joe and Lynn Broish, a nice 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath manufactured home. It was destroyed by Hurricane Harvey. The neighbors offered the Broishes their trailer for temporary housing, so the couple moved into the, well, less than modest conditions. The refrigerator, too big to fit inside. The electricity only works on one side of the house, and a back room that doesn't even have a floor. This isn't exactly luxury living, is it?
No, sir, not at all. I'm not used to this.
But luck was starting to turn for the Broishes. In December, their loan was approved by the SBA, and with money on its way, the Oak Creek Home Center ordered the couple's new custom-built home. It was delivered in January. Mrs. Broish picked out the countertops. She picked out the cabinets. This was exactly the way that Mrs. Broish wanted it. She saw this and loved it. A week later, she passed away. Lynn Broish succumbed to cancer. She never got her wish that she live in the home, if just for a short while. It's now almost June, and SBA still hasn't funded the loan, and the home still sits in Oak Creek's lot. You're 78 years old, your wife passed away, you don't have a home. How is that affecting you?
It's rough, believe me. I mean, I'm getting kind of, not really getting over it, but I'm accepting it.
To help him cope, Joe has enlisted the help of his good friend Jess Opalencia, who is exasperated at how long it has taken the SBA to fund the loan that was approved in December.
He was approved for a loan. They've continually asked him for more documentation. We fax things. They say they're not getting the faxes. We have fax confirmations showing that we did send the stuff.
Opalencia has even written the governor to no avail. Yes, Corpus Christi isn't the only city Burris is accused of collecting money and failing to perform. He also reportedly did it in San Antonio, where the law caught up with him. Skylar Burris was arrested today in San Antonio. Burris was taken without incident while in an interview with police at a San Antonio substation. Burris is charged with 4 felony counts of theft on the elderly.
What do you know? What can you tell us?
That we're working through all this.
Are you guilty of what they're charging you for?
Absolutely not.
There are 2 seniors here who say that Skylar owes them money. 78-year-old John Smith, whose roof has looked like this since Hurricane Harvey. Smith says he gave Burris $21,000. What were you thinking? What were your emotions when you found out that Skylar was arrested this morning?
Well, I'm relieved to a certain extent because I think justice is being served. However, do we get restitution? We don't yet know that.
And 86-year-old Leota Gaines, who makes stuffed animals for the kids at Driscoll Children's Hospital and the Ronald McDonald House. She says she gave Burris over $8,000.
I want out of this bind that I'm in. And if they can put a roof on my house, fine. But him in jail isn't going to help me a bit.
All in all, there are about 8 more people who have come forward, including Scott Swartz, who says he is out over $5,000.
Even if he does time in jail, that doesn't get me paid back.
So do you kind of hope that he gets out of jail and pays everybody back?
Well, that would be the dream scenario, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that.
Now, I spoke with Skylar's brother today, Tristan. He says that he's trying to bail Skylar out of jail. Well, Burris was planning to be here in Corpus Christi tomorrow and Friday to meet with homeowners like Smith and Gaines. We'll see if that happens. Dr. Brad Hoffman, Action 10 News. Christy Castilla went to Ace Finance and Tax Services about a month and a half ago. She says she gave Rudy Valent about $300 to do her taxes, but became suspicious when the refund she was expecting didn't come. So she called the IRS and they said they have no record of her tax filing. She says she also has tried to get in touch with Valent many times.
I tried to call him. He cussed me out over the phone. I tried to speak with him at his place of his business. He would never answer the door. So he's just kind of been avoiding me ever since.
But as luck would have it, Castilla ran into Valent at a restaurant last night, confronted him, and recorded the whole thing on her phone.
I have an interview with the news tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to make you look like a fool.
Okay, thank you very much.
You can make it right now and give me back the money that you stole from me, or I'm going to expose you in front of all of Corpus Christi.
Do it. Do it.
I also tried calling Valent at his office several times as well, but no one answered. So I decided to pay Ace Financial Services a visit myself. Valent wasn't there, but I spoke with another gentleman. Now, are you aware that there's a lot of people that are complaining, and is you going to do anything about that?
Sir, I can't comment any further other than
Okay, I mean, a lot of people are upset because they've lost money. Are you going to do anything about it? Do you know? Okay, so you're not going to answer our questions? Okay, thank you very much. He also told me that Valent will be in the office tomorrow at 9 a.m. Meanwhile, Castilla feels violated. She says Valent has all of her personal information and she's worried. Emotionally, what does this do to you?
It's stressful. Now I have to worry about my social security numbers, the information he has on me. I have to worry about now paying someone else to do my taxes. I mean, it's stressful. It's very stressful.
Is there anything you want to say to him?
I can't believe that you would take advantage of so many families, that you would do that to so many people and have no remorse for what you did.
This is the area of Corpus Christi known as Hillcrest. It was once made up predominantly of black residents, but the black population is diminishing. The schools are closed, as well as the majority of businesses. Many homes are boarded up, others are being torn down. I went on a ride-along today with a man who has lived in the Hillcrest area all his life, Robert Wilson, and this is his story.
Everything you see here is history. I mean, there were houses, apartments, stores, you name it. We had everything. This used to be our drugstore, a pharmacy. This used to be our Hill store. This used to be a Hill store. Another one used to be a barber shop next to it, Elmo's barber shop. I mean, we had everything that we needed. Y'all started taking things from over here that gave us a sign, that gave us a sign that y'all were taking our neighbor. Everyone knows who I am when I ride through here. We created love in our community, and what did we get in return? Y'all took it from us to build a bridge that could have went somewhere else. We know the schemes and the plots. I mean, we know about the sulfur falling on the houses. We know about everything. We know about all the way to you contaminating our ground over here with the pollution through the drain pipes. I mean, all the insights is there, and I pray that this goes viral. I pray that this gets out. You put us through so much and took so much from us that we couldn't help but to leave. That's what you wanted us to leave. Now we're all gone. And all we can do is come back and think of memories. Think of memories that we had. Good times that we had. Were there bad times? Yes, there were bad times. There's bad times in every neighborhood, in every city. This is no different right here. This was no different, but y'all had a plan from the beginning to run us out. And we know this. I know this. I saw this way back when I was 14, 15 years old, and I'm 47 years old now.
These folks were so gracious enough to give me a little bit of a foot massage. And you know what? As hard as I work, I think it's very, very well deserved. Oh man. Whew, I'll tell you, these dogs are barking. Whew. If you really want to do yourself a favor, come on down here. I just can't wait for this. This is going to be some good stuff. Oh man. Whew. Open till 11 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Little service. Dr. Brad Hoffman reporting live at the La Palmera Mall. Let's send it back to you.